What's up, peeps? We're back. As always, I'm your host, Lee Benson. Thank you so much for joining us for a special YouTube edition of the AEW Insider. Now, I know it's been a while since you got to lay your eyes on this beautiful, beautiful mug of mine, but I figured it was a special occasion, so why not show the face for a couple minutes, you know? Remember, if you do want to win a Series 1 AEW Chris Jericho action figure, stick around to the end of the show, and remember to show us some love on all major podcasting platforms, especially on Facebook and YouTube under the AEW Insider, and on Twitter under the AEW Insider 1, as in the number 1. Now, I said this is a special episode because I love movies, I love video games, I love action figures, as you can see, but the main priority of this channel is wrestling, and that's what people seem to watch, you know what I mean? The views, the likes, the shares, they prove that. But whenever there is a great movie, I have to speak about it. I believe the last one I did just for a particular movie was actually Uncut Gems from last year, which starred Adam Sandler, and that movie should have won awards, and he should have won some awards. They definitely fucked them over. But today I am back because last night with my family, I watched an amazing movie. It does star Pete Davidson, and it is called The King of Staten Island. So let's get to the review. Well, I believe Pete Davidson has made himself into a bona fide movie star. I really enjoyed his first film. It was called Big Time Adolescence. Now his follow-up film is the Judd Apatow directed King of Staten Island. And trust me, peeps, this one, it's a winner. It's based primarily on Pete Davidson's real life. He doesn't play Pete Davidson in the movie, but I mean, there's only a couple things that were made up or just thought of for the movie. Everything else is taken from stuff that pretty much happened during his life. It does cover his father's death, his mental problems, suicide, relationships, friendships, but yet it's a lot of fun. The movie had a great balance of humor and definitely some real deep and dark topics. So Pete plays Scott Carlin, a 26-year-old who's still living home with his mother and his sister. His sister is about to go off to college. His mother is played by Marissa Tomei. She still looks amazing. She loves him dearly and pretty much has given up her entire life to deal with Pete's mental and emotional issues after his father's untimely death. His father was a New York City firefighter. It affected the family very deeply, of course. They even have a little shrine in the house that's dedicated to his dad. How healthy that is, who knows? His sister is played by Judd Apatow's real-life daughter. Her name is Maude Apatow. And let me tell you, folks, she did not get the role because she is Judd's daughter. She fucking killed it. Legit reminds me of a young Anna Paquin, so definitely check out her performance. He and her are polar opposites in the movie. He is a pothead wannabe tattoo artist, and she is a straight-A student about to head off to college. They fight like cats and dogs, but deep down, they really do care for each other. Pete, of course, has a group of friends who are all going nowhere just like him. It is a mixed bag of friends. One is like the leader and the tough guy of the group, who's actually played by Pete Davidson's real-life childhood friend. They have a brother up in the mix, and also they do have Hannah Montana star Moses Aria, who does play Igor. The guys hang out, they smoke a lot of pot, they bust each other's balls, and they do fucked up shit. You know, what guys do. Pete also has a booty call. I guess you will call her that. I don't want to say it's his girlfriend. It is mostly a sexual relationship. Well, on his part anyway. Of course she does want more. Her name is Kelsey, and she is played by Belle Powley. Pete aspires to be a tattoo artist, but he is not really good at it. His friends let him test out tattoos on their body, and trust me, they are horrible. For example, one of them is a cat, and where the cat's anus would be is his friend's belly button. It is hilarious and tells you what kind of work he likes to tattoo on people. His uncle by marriage offers him a job at a restaurant to give him some direction and to put some money in his pocket. The place is kind of crazy though. At the end of the shift, they actually have a legit fight club for their tips. Anyway, Pete and his boys are hanging out and drinking, and a 9-year-old boy stumbles past them. The kid wants a tattoo. Pete actually gives him one, even though his friends warned him against it. Of course it hurt, and the kid takes off, and it only actually got one black line on his arm. That leads to his father, aka Ray, aka comedian Bill Burr, showing up at Pete's mother's door, and he is not happy at all that a grown man tattooed his 9-year-old son. His father is a New York City firefighter also, just like Pete's dad. Pete's mom is a nurse and she says they have a machine at the hospital and she could remove it and she will pay for it. That is pretty much the opening for Pete's mom and Bill Burr's character Ray to have an opportunity to get closer, and it does form into a relationship, which of course rocks Pete's world. His father's death is bad enough, but also his mother pretty much does everything for him, and now there is a new man around. So it definitely makes for some tense and funny moments at times. Since he lives at home, he has to help chip in, doing such thing as walking his mother's new boyfriend's kids to school in the morning. Yes, one of them is that kid that Pete gave a tattoo to. Well, Pete has to pick them up from their mom's house, aka Bill Burr's ex-wife. She's played by Pamela Adlon. She's very, very funny, and her and Pete have great scenes together. Just imagine a 26-year-old burnout that I've been explaining to you guys showing up at your door one morning saying, "Hey, I'm here to walk your kids to school." Like I said, I really did enjoy the scenes that those two had together. Pete, of course, is great with the kids, though. And why? Because he's a big kid himself. So Pete and Bill Burr attempt to bond in multiple ways, yet Pete still is not feeling him. They even go to visit his sister at college, and Pete attends a college party with her, which he actually does have a great time at, and it was actually a great scene in the movie. Now back to Pete's boys. A situation does come up when they want him to help do something illegal. So you have to see whether his loyalty will prevail over risking the future and the life that he has. Even though the life he is leading is not that great, jail would be a lot worse. An incident does happen that Pete is behind and leads to him getting kicked out of his mom's house and the mom breaking up with the boyfriend. He looks for a ton of places to go, and eventually he ends up at the firehouse that Bill Burr, aka his mother's ex, works at. Burr is not happy at all to see Pete, of course, but he does let him crash there tonight. The crew, and especially the chief of the crew, played by the great Steve Buscemi, takes a serious liking to Pete and has him do the bitch, aka grunt work around the firehouse, and that is in trade for a place to sleep and eat. There he gets to see how his father lived his life and what his father would still be doing if he was alive. It's a great bonding time for Pete, yet very sad for him at the same time. So I really won't tell you much more because I don't want to tell you how the movie ends. And even though you think that I might have told you a lot, I really didn't. I pretty much just told you setup for scenes and you know what led to what, but blah, blah, blah. There's a lot more that goes on. The movie is fucking hilarious and there's so much shit in there. You have to watch it multiple times so you can catch it all. So you ask yourself, what happened with Pete and his boys, his booty call / girlfriend, his mom's ex-boyfriend, his sister, what have you? If you want to know, you gotta watch the movie. The movie also has some great cameos, such as Rich Voss, Machine Gun Kelly, and chef and rapper Action Bronson, plus a lot more. Like legit, people might think this movie is an SNL spinoff that actors make and it's just goofy and stupid, but it's not. Trust me. It is funny as fuck and you will laugh your ass off, but it also legit will pull at your heartstrings. That is a very hard balance to find when writing a movie. Never mind a movie based on somebody's real life, and also to make it a good movie. Well, Apatow and his crew accomplished it in spades. This movie is so fucking good. One of the best of the year so far. I'm going to call it a comma, which is a comedy and drama mix. Definitely pony up the $20 to watch it. It's worth every penny. I watched it twice last night alone, and I plan on watching it again tonight. People complain about the $20 price tag, but that is bullshit. For example, last night there were 4 of us in attendance that we're all quarantined with, and it was a great time. It would cost more than $20 for 2 of us out of the 4 to even walk into a movie theater, never mind concessions for all 4 of us. So definitely do not miss out on this flick. Get whoever you're quarantined with, rent it, and fucking enjoy. I do give King of Staten Island a 9 out of 10 stars. Like I said, it is one of the best films I watched this year. It probably is the best film, and it definitely is the best film since I watched Uncut Gems last year. This movie definitely just opened up the door for Davidson to be able to make and star in some more films. I hope he does not fuck up the upcoming opportunities that he's going to have coming his way. I hope he also gets over some deep issues and gets some more help so that he will learn to enjoy his life and the payoff from all the hard work he has done. Peeps, do not wait to see this flick. See it now. All right, Pete. Well, I definitely hope that piqued your interest in the movie. I give you my word. Even though it seemed like a lot, it's nothing. Like I said, the movie has a runtime of 2 hours and like 17 minutes. It's fucking funny as hell. It's sad as hell. And like I said, it will pull at your heartstrings. So what I told you, it just barely scrapes the surface. It's definitely worth the price of admission. Get your family together, whoever you're quarantined with, like I said, and watch the fucking flick. Don't be a cheap fuck. Remember, if you do want to win a Series 1 AEW La Champion action figure, you have to be subscribed to this channel. Besides being a subscriber, you have to like, share, and comment any video. So subscribe, pick a video, like, share, and comment, and boom, you're in the running to win a Series 1 Chris Jericho AEW action figure. Please show us some love on all major podcasting platforms, also on Facebook and YouTube under the AEW Insider, and on Twitter under the AEW Insider 1, as in the number 1. As always, I'm your host, Lee Benson. Thank you so much for tuning in to the AEW Insider. Ciao, peeps.